Typically, if a black person speaks in favor of the Republicans or against the Democrats, other black people will come out and attack them as if they are a traitor to their race. Did you know that Malcolm X did a speech where he called black people who voted for Democrats a traitor to their race?
Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Typically, when you present information like that, black people will say, well, you know, the party shifted, so the racist Democrats are now the Republicans. But listen to what he says about that.
And what kind of alibi do they come up with? They try and pass the buck to the Dixiecrats. Now, back during the days when you were blind, deaf, and dumb, ignorant, politically immature, naturally you went along with that. But today, as your eyes come open and you develop political maturity, you're able to see and think for yourself. And you can see that a Dixiecrat is nothing but a Democrat in disguise.
Black people switched to the Democrat Party in 1936. It wasn't in the 60s. You can see there that in 1932, we voted Republican. The very next election, 1936, we switched to Democrat. In 1936, was the Democrat Party the party of the Klan? Yes. They're the same party who was suppressing the vote in the South. Why did black people switch from the Republicans to then vote Democrat? Because they offered them something for their vote. Welfare. Obviously, black people didn't care if they were the party of the Klan. They wanted something for their vote. For the last 87 years, black people have voted as a monolith for the Democrat Party. That means that the Democrats take our vote for granted and the Republicans don't think that they can get it. That means that no one values the vote. If we were to switch parties one time and vote as a block for the Republicans, what would that tell the Democrats? What would that tell the Republicans? That we understand the power of our vote.
Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. The whites were evenly divided. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor.
Meanwhile, we're so afraid of racism and the big bad orange man that we're just throwing our vote away and attacking anybody else that tells us to think before we vote. Eventually, our vote is going to be irrelevant because they're replacing you with illegals. People like Tim Walz wants to give them driver's license. And if you have a driver's license, then you can vote. So once they're able to legalize or nationalize or document this entire group of maybe over 20 million people, while we're only 40 million of the population, meaning that they've brought in an entire new voting population. Because we're like 44 million people doesn't mean that everyone is able to vote or does vote. Eventually they won't need you because they'll have a new group of people that they're going to have a new civil rights movement for when they make the push to nationalize these people. They're going to turn the tables from demonizing whites and Republicans, and they're going to turn the tables to demonizing black people.
Bobby Bacon, Revolution, number 73. Black people hating on immigrants. Nonsense and worse from people who should know better.
Black people are the ones in the city council meetings right now voicing their concerns about the immigrants the most.
You don't hang no signs about black people hating on immigrants. They hung this in our community. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man. Yeah. Y'all better keep them signs down. Yeah. I know that.
As black people who have been hurt continuously by the city and country it loves, it ain't our responsibility to take care of everybody else.
We don't want to have to recall anybody. We don't want to have to protest anybody, but we are not going to be ignored, Brandon.
Why do we have to take the butt of everything? Okay, this community here is already suffering.
And how dare anyone say New York City is not going through a crisis? When you get 10,000 a month, there's no relief in sight. And so I'm not going to search through a thesaurus and find the proper way to be politically correct to tell you that this can destroy our city, this crisis.
But eventually, that minority is not going to be able to be quieted, and they're going to have to then be demonized. Then you're going to see a new narrative of black xenophobia. As always, you don't have to agree with me. I don't need you to. I just hope that you heard this. And if you did, I appreciate your time and attention, because you can't get those things back. All opinions are welcome in the comment section. Go ahead and say whatever you have to say. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.